The Justice Committee wants Jody Wilson-Raybould to speak her truth. Today, Michael Wernick spoke his.
The Globe and Mail article contains errors, unfounded speculation, and in some cases is simply defamatory.
In extraordinary testimony, the clerk of the Privy Council offered public comment on private meetings that are part of a political scandal, giving a broad defense of the government he serves.
In my observation and my experience, they have always conducted themselves to the highest standards of integrity. You may not like their politics or their policies or their tweets, but they have always been guided by trying to do the right thing.
Wernick also offered specific insights into key moments of the SNC-Lavalin timeline. Of note, he corroborated the Prime Minister's version of his September 17th meeting with Wilson-Raybould, during which Trudeau says he reassured her that she would make the final call on SNC-Lavalin.
He indicated that it was entirely her call to make, that she was the decider. And that is a message. That is a message that the Prime Minister conveyed to the Minister on every situation that I'm aware of that it came up.
Wernick also released letters from December showing the Prime Minister turning down meetings with SNC's top brass, telling them to speak to Wilson-Raybould.
At every opportunity, verbally and in writing in December, the Prime Minister made it clear that this was the decision for the Minister of Justice to take.
But there is also a December 19th phone call Wernick made to Wilson-Raybould, a call that could be interpreted as pressure, a call in which Wernick mentioned SNC-Lavalin and consequences.
I conveyed to her that a lot of her colleagues and the Prime Minister were quite anxious, was conveying context that there were a lot of people worried about what would happen, the consequences, not for her, the consequences for the workers and the communities and the suppliers.
The question is whether that call was improper pressure, or if Wilson-Raybould could interpret it that way.
I think the matter may come down to the Ethics Commissioner's view on a conversation between two people, between what was sent and what was received.
The Ethics Commissioner is conducting a review, but the opposition has already reached a verdict.
I think the testimony is stunning. I think the amount of pressure that the Prime Minister's office, either through his own operatives or through the clerk of the Privy Council, is incredibly unprecedented.
Okay, David, there were certainly new details of what happened, maybe details for the first time, but there's still lots of gaps in all of this.
Yeah, we still have nothing from Jody Wilson-Raybould, no specifics from her, though we expect that will change when she testifies at this committee next week. We expect that's going to happen on Tuesday, and we're clearly going to want her version of that September 17th meeting with the Prime Minister, her version of the December 19th call with the clerk, and how she perceived both of those events. And Rosie, there's another key event here we don't have anyone's version of, and that's a December 5th meeting between Wilson-Raybould and the Prime Minister's former top advisor, Jerry Butts, at the Chateau Laurier here in Ottawa. That has been highlighted as a key moment in this. Butts, in his resignation statement, says he has done nothing wrong. We will obviously want to hear Wilson-Raybould's version of what happened at that meeting. And Rosie, if you listen to Michael Wernick today, she should be able to be quite expansive on what she says, because in his view, Wernick says solicitor-client privilege does not apply here at all. So in his view, Wilson-Raybould should be free to speak her truth. We'll find out next week.
And on it goes. David Cochran, again on this story for us tonight in Ottawa. Thank you.
You're welcome.